Hey, Shelly and Jason. Troy and I met today, which is Tuesday, July 28th, 2020, to talk about level 3 of the distance learning course. And if you go to the Team Triage Collaborative notes, you can kind of see our process, but we just wanted to talk you through this. So we started by thinking of looking at all of these levels. Is there a common topic, title, theme, blooms, or SAMR thread that goes through? And we found that the SAMR model works well with the levels we've come up with so far. Like level 1 is basics or substitution, level 2 is augmentation. So we're kind of on the path for level 3 for modification, which is significant task redesign. So we're looking at the tasks that we did in level 1 and level 2 and figuring out a way to redesign. And Troy, you can jump in at any time and interrupt me.
Doing fantastic. And then when we were looking at that initial discussion of tying it to SAMR, kind of naturally necessitated, well, if we're going to go with SAMR, we really need definition, which is that level 4. And in just that kind of brief discussion of what a level 4 might look like, we were really kind of having a conversation about, is it, relatively open in terms of the task? Is this maybe they're putting together a project proposal and using all of these tools and strategies they've learned throughout levels 1 to 3 to then define what they're doing and create something new. So project Google Sites, how can we apply that to those two pillars, Blogger, and then even Genius Hour and project-based learning. But this kind of, we kind of had to think through that a little bit just to finish off that initial brainstorm. Then we switched gears to really just kind of focus on some level 3 brainstorming. You kind of referring back to that pillar document so that way we can tie everything back in. And that's been linked in there. Thank you, Hans, for linking that.
And Troy, your audio is breaking up a little bit. I don't know if it will translate and the recording is broken up, but just FYI.
Okay, thanks.
So we're trying to figure out how to significantly redesign the tasks. And we thought of for level 3, trying to focus on empowering students, because ultimately, since students are working at home, they're on their own, they need to have the power to communicate, to manage their learning, and to engage in their learning. So that's kind of a theme that we picked up along the way. So under communication, the traditional communication method is to push out information, kind of a one-way system. Redesigned is trying to figure out, so level 3, we're thinking the best way to empower students with communication is building a positive class culture or community. So possibly using a tool like Flipgrid so that there's a back and forth conversation, some type of relationship builders. So that's kind of what we're thinking with communication. And then for management, level 1 and 2, we were creating a Google Classroom in our new context, a Canvas classroom, posting assignments, instructional videos on the LMS. And then for the redesigned learning management, we just wrote down a bunch of ideas, but then we ended up going back to the original description in that distance learning pillar document that's linked in here. And we broke down the different areas and what we've done in past levels and how we might redefine. So for providing resources and opportunities in level 3, we're trying to redesign by providing opportunities to find resources. So for our younger kids, they're given 3 to 5 resources to choose from to do their resource But for older students, they're taught search parameters or how to do Google searches or look for valid sources. And then another element in the description is to develop instruction. And in level 3, we're thinking it needs to be somehow the instruction needs to be student-centered and self-paced. So we came up with empowering students to show learning with video. And we've been kind of modeling this with I do, we do, you do with level 1 and level 2 with our participants. So what about empowering students to record themselves on video and to share their learning and to turn that into Canvas or whatever? And for maximum engagement, letting students or teachers choose between, are they going to use Loom or the Canvas video or Google Meet or Flipgrid? You know, choice is that kind of element. And then for providing support, students communicate learning videos, teachers provide video feedback to that student content. And so, yeah, so the main idea here for management, for learning management, is kind of a empowerment of students to share what they know with video. And then engagement, man, we went down a lot of rabbit trails to think about this. Troy, do you want to say anything about engagement? I'm going to see if your audio's coming through.
Yeah, so with engagement, the big issue we picked up on kind of quickly was, compared to the other descriptions, pillar descriptions, the description for engagement was a little vague. It didn't have any kind of guideposts that gave us, like in management, we had specific things that we could look for in terms of skills or ideas we could build goals and tasks around. But the description for the engagement section didn't really have that. And that's the one right here that is highlighted. We ended up, after going down some different rabbit holes, we ended up coming to this new description, which basically just incorporated a couple things. So it incorporated a by statement. So teachers facilitate student engagement by having students set their own learning goals, seeking feedback, and then self-assessed learning. This came from the distance learning playbook that we were looking at some of the modules in there. And we've linked some presentations in there that kind of give that information. But it was, they showed a kind of a diagram, oh, thank you, kind of demonstrating this transition from passive engagement to active engagement, and really getting students in that driving section of setting goals, seeking their own feedback, and then assessing themselves on their progress towards that. So we wanted to build that in, but then also incorporate those 6 elements of engagement. Where did you get that from?
All right. Now that, okay, I got to stop playing. Stop it. Escape. And back. Okay. Say that again, Troy.
The 6 elements of engagement. Yeah. So that was another part that we were trying to see within the definition as well. And right here we have that list, and the green checks are the ones that in level 1 and 2 we've already seen those elements pop out. So we've already seen interaction, we've already seen multimedia, as well as feedback, but with exploration, relevancy, and challenge, we haven't seen those yet. So finding a way to incorporate those would be great. And Hans pointed out the HyperDoc format right here. We may be able to find those last 3 elements of engagement through the HyperDoc format. And Shelly, that was based on our previous ones. The HyperDoc was going to be that end goal task for level 3, module 3. And that would really kind of help us to center all of those other elements of engagement. So we incorporated those other elements into the definition for engagement, the proposed new definition. Yeah, so the teachers design engaging learning experiences by statement by including elements of interaction, exploration, relevancy, multimedia feedback, and or challenge. Just because sometimes it may not be all of them, sometimes it may only be certain ones, but leaving that open.
And these elements of student engagement are from a presentation that I did based on this research article down here by Parsons on improving student engagement from 2011. So that's kind of where it came from. So we were kind of digging into the distance learning playbook and those 6 elements of student engagement. So for 3.3, when it comes to facilitating student engagement, we this is kind of a rough draft. We'll need feedback to make it better, but participants learn about elements of engagement that include exploration, relevance, and challenge, and create a hyperdoc that includes elements of student engagement and student chosen learning goals, opportunities to seek feedback, and self-assessment. So this may be like too pie in the sky. We'll need help like bringing it back down to earth and making it a level 3 course versus, a level 33 course, which maybe this could be that. But we just wanted to practice what we're preaching and make you a video to kind of explain what we've been working on. So that's how far we've gotten, and we'll just kind of head in this direction until we can get together and chat. But yeah, let us know. Feel free to email us if you have any questions.